Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick demo on how to get going on the Pascal's triangle extension, how to make sense of its test suite output. And so let's dig in. So first of all, the Pascal's triangle extension is here. And this is a classic problem, and you're going to print out something that looks like this. And I encourage you to go ahead and look into Pascal's triangle and to figure out how to do this. And so let's come over to if you've cloned the extension batch1 repo, you should see something that looks like this. There'll be a source folder, a package for each one of the extensions, and in there will be Pascal's triangle, which you see I have open right here. And right next to it is Pascal's triangle test suite. If you right click on this, if you click on Pascal's triangle and run it, right? It won't actually print anything out right now because there's nothing going on. If I said this out column, I believe is the first thing you're supposed to produce in this assignment, it'll print that out. If I come over to the test suite, it will, if I run that as a JUnit test, it's going to run a bunch of different things. It's going to run, well, like all the Pascal triangles up to size 34. And if you can look at this, it's saying, oh, look, I was expecting 4 lines and I only got 1. And so I expected column and I actually got col. So if we go through this and actually type out column, it's not indented correctly. But if I run this test suite again, it will say like, oh, I wanted 4 and I actually got 1 and it was right here. And like, at least that's good. I don't have the right number of lines, but that's fine. And I could print out just this piece of information and pass that one test. Obviously, this is not extremely useful, but I could be like, oh, I'm going to make some progress here. I'm going to print 0 and I'm going to print row and 0, 1, and I'm going to pass. That's how it's going to work. And when I run this test suite, I would actually pass this first test. I would pass for 1, but then obviously we start getting over here and it's like, oh, I was expecting 5 lines now. I'm obviously not reading what the number I was supposed to do and doing some loops to make this work well and all sorts of information. I'm just doing this. What I will say as a bonus is it's kind of difficult to see the output in this way. And so again, if you click on this show stack trace and console view, sometimes things will print out much better and sort of start to see the tabs and everything like that. So if I go down here to n equals 10 and I click this button again, you can see like this is what I'm expected to print out and I'm just printing this thing out. As you'll note, the unclean raw, I didn't bother to indent anything here. I didn't do anything. We're going to try to clean that up for you. Hopefully that'll work. We don't want you to focus too much on things. So if I'm like row and print some spaces at the end and I have tabs or not have tabs or whatever, as long as the output over here is reasonable, like this guy will pass, right? It's not going to try to be too nitpicky, but if you don't have the right contents, then it's going to fail. What I'm going to show off is, so this one is kind of uninteresting because I built this rather ridiculous version. I have committed and pushed a version that has it working, except instead of printing this lovely, for n equals 6, instead of printing this lovely triangle, it just prints 1 everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace in this Git menu. You can, if you ever do something, want to go back to an old version, you can replace it with the previous version, replace with head revision. And if I do that, you can see it's discarded it. Now the implementation is down here. I obviously didn't want to have you see that because, like I want you to have all the fun and glory of building this yourself. But if I run this now and I say 10, it's going to print out all 1s, right? And so what happens when you run the test suite here for all of them is, as you might imagine, it passes for 1 and 2. When you finally get to 3, it starts to print out things like this. So again, let's click this so we can see it over here, tabbed. And it finds like it actually failed first on line 5, counting from 0. So you can sort of see all the lines we have, we finally fail here. And it was like expecting this output. Excuse me, it was expecting this output. It wants 2 in the middle and it got this one. And sometimes if you're ever in this situation, you sort of say, oh, I'm passing. sometimes it's good to look at one with a little bit more information. You can to tell a little bit clearer, I would say, from this case equals 9. It's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to have. It's like, oh boy, I have all ones. And so I want you to take this information that the tests are giving you as sort of clues into your detective work to figuring out how to fix your bugs. Don't just take it as like it failed. Oftentimes, information can be gleaned from over here, either the past test that it's passing versus the test it's not passing, but also digging in and trying to figure out what exactly it's telling me. And with that, good luck on this assignment, and hopefully this will help.